Welcome to This Is Not Legal Advice. I am your host, TINLA, and today we are doing episode 3 of my deck review. This is a breaking news alert because the Gen Z Tarot just came out. It actually is not supposed to be released for a couple of days, so this is actually a secret pseudo early premiere. So anyway, what I wanted to do is pair it with the Millennial Tarot, which came out right before it and has the same theme as made by the same people. So as usual, what I'm going to do is I'm going to compare these decks to sort of the OG Rider-Waite Tarot, and you can take a look and see how it goes. But real quick, again, this is a Millennial Tarot. It's got a really neat little box here, avocado, of course, on it. And it's got a great closure. The deck goes in here and an excellent book that goes with it. And then the Gen Z Tarot is the same size, same style of box here with the side opening and, again, a book and the pocket for it. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. On the right side here, we're going to have our Millennial Tarot. Excuse me, on the right side, this one is your Gen Z, and on the left side is going to be your Millennial. This is your fire sign, water sign, your major arcana, and then you have your earth signs or pentacles and your air signs or swords. And again, that's cups and wands. So I think it's appropriate to start with the actual major arcana. I know everybody's always interested in those because they're usually the coolest cards, I'm not going to lie. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. In the original tarot, we have the Fool, and in the Millennial tarot, we have, well, the Millennial, along with the NPC in the Gen Z tarot. Now, one thing I will say I like about both these decks, because again, it's by the same company, is you can see here that it also has the traditional name, the Fool, above the name that is themed. It gives you the number that is always there, and it gives you also the sign that is affiliated with that card. So that's pretty cool. I like that a lot. All right, so that's our Fool. Next, we have the Magician, traditionally, and then we have in the Millennial Tarot the Tech Visionary. In the Gen Z, we have the Red Pill. Outside, we have a plane. Next, we have the High Priestess. In the Millennial, it's the Festival Goer. And in the Gen Z, it's Canon Event. The Empress, we have the Etsy Queen for our Millennial, and the Mother for our Gen Z. The Emperor in our traditional deck is matched by the Patriarchy and Millennial, and Giga Chad in the Gen Z. The Hierophant is represented by the Instagram Guru for our Millennial deck here, and then the Trip Sitter for the Gen Z. Now, if somebody's going to leave a comment to me telling me what a trip sitter is, or I'm going to go look it up somewhere online because maybe I'm just too old, but I've never heard the term. So do let me know. We have the Tinderists here for the lovers, the typical lovers card. And then we have the Power Couple for our Gen Z. The Chariot is van life for our millennials, and do it for the plot for our Gen Z. Strength is going to be DIY skills for the millennial, and let them cook for the Gen Z. We have the Hermit in our traditional sense. It's off the grid for the millennials, and CEO of Me Time for our Gen Z. The Wheel of Fortune is a Bitcoin investment for the millennials, and the Stimmy check for the Gen Z folk. Justice is going to be the social justice warrior for millennial, and spitting facts for the Gen Z folks. The Hanged Man is fun-employed. Yeah, so I guess it's like working remotely for the millennial, something like that. And Let It Marinate for the Gen Z. Death here is represented by student loans for the millennials. And Pulling Trig, that's another one I'm going to have to go look up because I can guess what it means, but I'm not completely sure. Again, leave me a comment with the explanation or I'll just go find it myself. Temperance, here, traditional deck, eco-friendly, millennials, and Tea Break for the Gen Z. The Devil is the F-Boy for millennials. I think we all know why on that one. And Walking Red Flag for the Gen Z. I mean, listen, they hit the nail on the head with so many of these cards. It's amazing. The Tower is represented by the Dumpster Fire for the millennials, and it's giving doomsday for Gen Z. What a perfect picture for that, truly. The Star is going to be the Soul Cyclist, and Glow Up, which, I think is, again, just perfect representation. The Moon, the Ghoster for millennials, and Cringy Flashback for the Gen Z. A core memory. The sun is insta famous for our millennials, and serving C, which I think we all know what the C stands for, just fill in the blank there for yourself. But I do love serving some C outside of what I do here in the best possible way. Judgment is represented by the quarter life crisis for millennials, although some of the elder millennials are actually in midlife crisis. And then we have the awakening for our Gen Z. The world is boozy brunch for millennials and main character energy for Gen Z. I just think these are all so timely and fun, and just if you're looking for a deck that will give you a lighthearted reading that is also timely and unique, I highly recommend either or both of these. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the swords. Okay, this is these two here. We have swords represented in the millennials as thought and facts for the Gen Z. So Ace of Swords in the traditional is here. It's the vision board for millennials. And post, I don't know if I can say that, but you all can read it, clarity on that side. We have the Two of Swords is, to be honest, I don't know, abbreviated there for millennials. And beige flag for, there we go, for the Gen Zers. I don't know why I did it this way. Pardon me, hold music for you because I meant to do it this way again. Thank you for joining me again. I hope you're enjoying this little preview. Again, I'm so excited to show you this one because it doesn't come out for a few days, so I feel like really cutting edge. Okay, Three of Swords is the Three of Thoughts, too real, and it's the backstabbing for me. The Four of Swords is self-care and protecting my peace. Five of Swords is gaslighting and stay toxic. Stay toxic, my friends, on the Five of Swords. Six of Swords is girls trip. We love a girls trip. We love a girls trip in these parts, or a boys trip, whatever you're into. Like, do your thing, but get away, have fun. And then we have hot girl summer, which because of where I live, it's like hot girl all year round. Doesn't matter. Got to be hot because, well, you're gonna sweat. It's like 80,000 degrees all the time. Anyway, Seven of Swords is acting shady for our millennials, and hella sus for our Gen Z. The Eight of Swords is lockdown and Delulu. I like living in Delulu Land sometimes. It's a nice little place of vacation. Maybe take that girls trip to Delulu Land. I don't know. Sunday Scaries for your Nine of Swords, and Shooketh for Gen Z. The Ten of Swords is I can't even with that. Okay, and it's canceled for Gen Z. Page of Swords is the teletherapist. Just a reminder, this is not sponsored by anybody, so in case you were thinking about a particular teletherapist you have heard of online. And Spill the Tea here on Gen Z. Knight of Swords, protest organizer. We need these people, especially of late. And Karen's over here definitely asking for many a manager at all times. They almost hit it right with the haircut, but not completely. It needs to be more like that reverse bob, you know. Yeah. Queen of Swords, independent woman, and women in STEM. And then our King of Swords is a grown man, which you love to see it, and short king for Gen Z. So I think, again, well done on that. I have no notes, by the way, Gen Z, here's your back. And the back of your millennial is your avocado, because of course it is. Let's move on to Pentacles, right? It's our earth energy, the green here. So now I can set this down. We have the Ace of Pentacles traditionally, the new gig, and stonks, which again, I mean, I've looked it up. I don't know if it's supposed to be a reference to the stock market. Probably, again, you all tell me in the notes here. But by the way, the Pentacles are swag in the Millennial Tarot, and you can see that they have like a little, looks like a Bitcoin representing it there. And in this one, it's Ace of Guap. And so Guap apparently is whatever that is for Pentacles. We have our Two of Pentacles here with work-life balance and too many tabs open. In number 3, we have Three of Pentacles, work besties and collab. For 4, we have our pyramid scheme and clout chaser. 5 is a furlough and taking L's. 6 is the free giveaway and the plug. 7 is hustle culture, and multi-step skincare routine. We love a good skincare routine around here, right? Before, during, and after girls trip. Eight of Pentacles is imposter syndrome and crafty bia, B word. Again, I don't know what Google's or YouTube's restrictions are. Nine of Pentacles is first-time homeowner and secure the bag. 10 of Pentacles, we have generational wealth and the goat. Not the throat goat, that's different. No notes. Page of Pentacles is personal trainer and crypto bro. So could go either way in terms of being good, bad, or however you interpret that. Knight of Pentacles, celebrity stylist and fitfluencer. Queen of Pentacles is who run the world. That's your time to say girl, but anyway. And she ate no crumbs. All those deadly windmills in the background, giving everybody cancer, huh? Sorry, I have to. I couldn't help myself. All right. And King of Pentacles is Sugar Daddy and Zaddy. Incidentally, I have another deck that has Zaddy as one of the types of royal suits. And I'll just say this. There's a whole lot of D in that deck, more than there ever should be anywhere. And it will be a deck I'll have to show you on the private access, which will be going through my website very shortly. So the website's going to be tinlatarot.com. So depending on when you're finding this, it might be launched already, it might not. But I'm looking forward to sharing that with you, including that kind of spicy content that involves, well, zaddies. Okay, so we have our cups, right, which is your water energy. In the Gen Z, it's going to be mood, it's a whole mood, and feels. We're all up in our feels here. Ace of Cups, we've got swipe right and green flag. Move this down a little bit so it's more centered. For our Two of Cups, we have smash or pass or engagement photos. Three of Cups is hard launch and couples costume. Four of Cups is doom scrolling and binge watching. So hopefully you're binge watching all the videos here. This is not legal advice, and not doom scrolling too much. I know we can't help it because there's just so much doom to scroll through these days. Five of Cups, we have the ick and left on red. Ugh, brutal. True story though. Very representative. Six of Cups, the throwback and core memory. Seven of Cups. Is it Pentacles? Last time I meant to say Cups. Thirst trap and situationship. It's funny that this thirst trap is like a chocolate fountain, it almost looks like, and I just always been dubious about those sorts of things. They just seem very not sanitary. I don't know. No shade to chocolate fountains, but full shade. Anyway, Eight of Cups, we have inner work and real talk. Nine of Cups is hashtag blessed and wholesome content. So maybe break up some of that doom scrolling with wholesome content, huh? 10 of Cups, we have the fam and living my best life. Page of Cups, I love it. You love to see the golden retriever energy. Also notice she's got black hat energy. So it doesn't say that, but it's implied. And coming out. Next, we have the Knight of Cups with an ally and emotional support animal. The Queen of Cups is mother's intuition and mommy energy, which again could go either way depending on the context. And King of Cups is the stay-at-home dad and the soft boy, which again, love it. Love it, love it, love it. Hopefully you love it too, which is why you're hitting the like button, you're sharing, you're subscribing, blah, 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 all the things. Again, this is not legal advice, and I am TINLA. Let's move on to our final four here with the fire signs, which is wands. And in the Millennial deck, it's represented by vibes, the whole vibe here, and aesthetic on the Gen Z. So Ace of Wands traditional gives us, a microdose, and we're getting a pop off here. Two of Wands is going to be new career, who dis, and vibe check. Three of Wands, like and subscribe. Yes, please do. We love to see it. Yay. And first like. Who's going to be the first like? I don't know. But if you're the first like, first comment, I'll be sure to respond and send a special thank you, maybe a free reward. We'll see. So we're four of vibes. I'm sorry. We're four of vibes here. Four of Wands. We have went viral and understood the assignment. Five of Wands is frenemies and gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss. Six of Wands, squad goals, and the girls are girling. And one thing I gotta say that I really love about these decks, in addition to like being culturally relevant and fun, is it really gives you a good current sense of what the actual meaning of the card is if you look in like the traditional sense, right? Because you can look at this Six of Wands and I can tell you it's like coming in for a victory lap, coming home, like achievement, celebration. But that's something you almost have to interpret and memorize for this. Whereas in the current cards, you get the sense of it from what's currently being presented here, right? So like Seven of Wands, you might not remember that that's about boundaries and protecting your peace, right? Well, here we have sorry, not sorry, and reverse Uno card. So really giving you a good sense of that, taking your power back and holding your own. Yes, the Eight of Wands. This is usually rapid action, communication, right? We have literally obsessed and full send. So really just giving a great demonstration. Nine of Wands, nevertheless, she persisted, and on edge, right? You're on the cusp here of doing something great. You just got to make that final push. And I think those are great representations, albeit somewhat different, right? Because this is really giving you the nevertheless, she persisted, the vibe of like you're facing insurmountable odds, but you're going on anyway. And on edge is more of a, oh, can I make it to the other side? Like I'm nervous, right? There's a different even sense, which is why I think these cards play great together. All right, where are we? Oh yes, the Ten of Swords. Excuse me, Ten of Wands. Blech. Burnt out, and this ain't it, Chief. Again, great representations. Page of Wands, the House DJ, and the Manic Pixie Dream Girl. Knight of Wands is your life coach and built different. Queen of Wands is a baddie and iconic. And finally, we come to our King of Wands, very appropriately, the Rizzler, and that big D energy. I'm telling you, we love the big D energy in these parts. So something to aim for there. But this was your sneak preview of the soon-to-be published and available Gen Z deck, which not sure exactly where they're going to be selling it. I believe I got mine on Barnes & Noble, but I was so excited to get it early, I had to share it with you, so I cut ahead on everything. But thank you once again for joining me on This Is Not Legal Advice. Now I'm going to go ahead and do a reading, so see you soon. Bye.